Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits by James Clear offers a powerful framework for understanding and improving daily habits. It argues that significant results come not from drastic changes, but from the compounding effect of tiny, consistent improvements, what he calls atomic habits. The book provides practical strategies based on the 4 laws of behavior change: make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, to build good habits and break bad ones. Its core value lies in empowering individuals to achieve remarkable transformations by focusing on identity-based habits and designing effective systems.
First, why do small changes lead to remarkable results? Small, incremental improvements, when compounded over time, create massive transformations. Focusing on 1% better each day yields significant growth, turning tiny habits into powerful forces for change. The book illustrates how a 1% improvement daily leads to 37 times better outcomes in a year. This concept challenges the idea that drastic changes are necessary, instead advocating for consistent, tiny adjustments across various aspects of life. It's about the cumulative effect of marginal gains, rather than a single breakthrough, demonstrating that patience and consistency are paramount.
Second, why should we focus on who we want to become, not just what we want to achieve? True habit change is about shifting your identity. When you believe, "I am a reader," instead of "I want to read a book," your actions align naturally with that self-image, making habits stick more effectively. Clear argues there are 3 layers of behavior change: outcomes, processes, and identity. Most people focus on outcomes, e.g., losing weight. Identity-based habits reverse this, starting with who you want to be, e.g., "I am a healthy person." This internal shift makes it easier to adopt new behaviors because they reinforce your desired self-image, creating a powerful feedback loop. Third, why are there 4 fundamental laws for habit formation? To effectively build good habits and break bad ones, we must understand and apply the 4 laws: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. These principles provide a comprehensive framework for behavior modification. These 4 laws are a practical toolkit for habit design. Make it obvious uses cues. Make it attractive leverages desire. Make it easy reduces friction. And make it satisfying ensures reinforcement. By systematically applying these laws, individuals can engineer environments and routines that naturally foster desired behaviors and deter unwanted ones, creating a robust system for change. Fourth, why is making cues obvious crucial for habit formation? Our environment is a powerful determinant of our habits. By making cues for good habits visible and accessible, and cues for bad habits invisible, we can effortlessly steer our behavior towards desired actions. The first law of behavior change focuses on environmental design. If you want to drink more water, keep a water bottle on your desk. If you want to practice guitar, leave it out. Conversely, if you want to stop watching TV, put the remote in a drawer. Our brains are cue-driven, and by manipulating our surroundings, we can prime ourselves for success without relying solely on willpower. Fifth, why is habit stacking an effective way to build new routines? Habit stacking leverages existing habits as triggers for new ones. By attaching a new desired behavior to an already established daily routine, you create a clear action plan and increase the likelihood of consistent execution. The formula for habit stacking is after current habit, I will new habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. This method reduces the need for conscious decision-making as the new habit becomes an automatic next step in a familiar sequence. It uses the momentum of an existing habit to propel a new one, making it feel less like an added chore. Sixth, why does making habits attractive help them stick? Our brains are wired for reward. By making a desired habit more appealing or pairing it with something we already enjoy, we increase our motivation to perform it, transforming chores into opportunities for pleasure. The second law focuses on making habits attractive. One powerful technique is temptation bundling, where you pair an action you need to do with an action you want to do. For instance, only allowing yourself to watch your favorite show while on the treadmill. This leverages the brain's desire for immediate gratification to make the necessary habit more appealing, making it easier to start and maintain. Seventh, why is social influence a powerful force in habit formation? We tend to imitate the habits of people we admire, those close to us, and the majority. Joining a group where your desired behavior is the norm makes it significantly easier to adopt and maintain those habits. Humans are social creatures, and our environment profoundly shapes our behavior. If you want to become a fit person, joining a running club or a gym community makes exercise a social norm and provides accountability. The invisible pull of group expectations and shared identity can be a more potent motivator than individual willpower, offering support and inspiration. Eighth, why is making habits easy essential for consistency? The less friction there is between you and your desired habit, the more likely you are to do it. Reduce the number of steps required, and you dramatically increase the chances of execution, even on days with low motivation. The third law emphasizes making habits easy. This means optimizing your environment to remove obstacles. If you want to exercise, lay out your gym clothes the night before. If you want to eat healthy, prep meals on Sunday. By minimizing the effort required, you lower the activation energy, making it almost easier to do the good habit than to procrastinate. Ninth, why do we naturally gravitate towards the path of least resistance? Our brains are wired to conserve energy. When faced with multiple options, we subconsciously choose the one that requires the least amount of effort. Design your environment to make good habits the path of least resistance. This principle underpins the "make it easy" law. It's not about being lazy, but about efficiency. By structuring your environment so that healthy choices are easier than unhealthy ones, you leverage this natural tendency. For example, keeping healthy snacks visible and unhealthy ones hidden makes choosing the good option the least effort path, guiding behavior without willpower. 10th, why must habits be satisfying to stick long term? Behaviors that are immediately rewarded tend to be repeated. To make good habits lasting, find ways to make the experience enjoyable and instantly gratifying, even if the ultimate reward is delayed. The fourth law is about making habits satisfying. While the long-term benefits of good habits, like fitness or saving money, are often delayed, our brains crave immediate gratification. Attaching an immediate small reward to a good habit, or finding intrinsic satisfaction in the process itself, helps reinforce the behavior and makes it more likely to be repeated, solidifying the neural pathways. 11th, why is tracking your habits so effective? Habit tracking provides visual proof of your progress, creating an immediate sense of satisfaction and making the habit obvious. It reinforces your desired identity and motivates you to maintain your streak, making you less likely to skip. A habit tracker serves multiple purposes. It makes the habit obvious, you see it, attractive, you want to keep the streak, and satisfying, you get a visual reward. Don't break the chain. Missing one day is an accident. Missing two is the start of a new habit. Tracking helps you quickly get back on track and avoid the what the hell effect after a slip-up, maintaining momentum.
12th, why is the immediate outcome of an action so powerful? The cardinal rule states, what is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Our brains prioritize immediate feedback, making short-term consequences far more impactful than long-term ones in shaping behavior. This rule highlights the brain's preference for instant gratification. A good habit's long-term benefits, example, health from exercise, are often abstract and delayed, while the immediate effort is real. For bad habits, the immediate pleasure, example, junk food, outweighs the delayed negative consequences. To change behavior, we must engineer immediate rewards for good habits and immediate costs for bad ones, overriding our primal wiring.
13th, why is finding the just right challenge crucial for motivation? The Goldilocks rule states that humans are most motivated when working on tasks of just manageable difficulty, not too hard, not too easy. This sweet spot keeps us engaged and pushes us to improve without becoming overwhelmed or bored. When a task is too easy, we get bored. When it's too hard, we get discouraged. The Goldilocks zone is where our abilities are stretched slightly beyond our current capacity. This zone fosters flow states and continuous improvement, providing enough challenge to remain interesting and enough success to remain motivating, preventing both stagnation and burnout. 14th, why does progress often feel slow before a breakthrough? The plateau of latent potential describes the period where effort seems to yield no results, leading to discouragement. However, consistent work accumulates below the surface until a critical threshold is crossed, leading to a sudden, visible breakthrough. This concept explains why many people give up just before seeing results. It's like an ice cube warming up from 25 degrees to 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Nothing seems to happen, but at 32 degrees, it melts. Your efforts are not wasted during the plateau. They are accumulating. Persistence through this period is key to unlocking significant change and experiencing the true compound effect. 15th, why is making cues for bad habits invisible effective? Just as making good habit cues obvious helps, making bad habit cues invisible removes the triggers. Out of sight, out of mind. Reducing exposure to temptations significantly reduces the likelihood of engaging in unwanted behaviors. This is the inverse of make it obvious. If you want to stop excessive snacking, don't keep unhealthy snacks in plain sight. If you're easily distracted by your phone, put it in another room while working. By eliminating the visual or auditory cues that trigger a bad habit, you reduce the temptation and the mental effort required to resist, making it easier to avoid. 16th, why does reframing help break bad habits? To break a bad habit, you must make it unattractive. This involves highlighting the downsides of the behavior and reframing your mindset to see the negative consequences clearly, shifting your desire away from it. This is the inverse of make it attractive. Instead of focusing on the immediate pleasure of a bad habit, consciously consider its long-term costs or negative impacts on your identity. For example, instead of eating this cake feels good, think eating this cake takes me further from being a healthy person. This shifts your perception and reduces the habit's appeal, weakening its hold. 17th, why does increasing friction help break bad habits? By making unwanted behaviors difficult to perform, you create enough friction to deter yourself. Adding extra steps or effort acts as a barrier, making it less likely you'll engage in the habit, especially when willpower is low. This is the inverse of make it easy. If you want to stop excessive gaming, unplug the console and put the controller in a locked drawer. If you want to reduce online shopping, delete saved credit card information. The added effort creates a moment of pause, allowing you to reconsider the action and often choose the more difficult path of not doing it, conserving willpower for other areas. 18th, why is making bad habits unsatisfying crucial for breaking them? Behaviors that are immediately painful or unsatisfying tend to be avoided. By creating an immediate consequence or cost for a bad habit, you provide the instant negative feedback your brain needs to stop repeating it. This is the inverse of make it satisfying. While the ultimate negative consequences of bad habits are often delayed, we can engineer immediate costs. This could be an accountability partner who you pay if you skip a workout, or a public commitment. The immediate pain of losing money, social disapproval, or breaking a streak reinforces the avoidance of the bad habit, making it less likely to recur. 19th, why is your environment more powerful than willpower alone? Your environment shapes your behavior subconsciously, often more than your conscious decisions. Designing surroundings that support good habits and deter bad ones reduces reliance on willpower, making consistency much easier. Clear argues that willpower is finite and easily depleted. Relying solely on it to overcome a challenging environment is a losing battle. Instead, we should proactively design our spaces, home, office, digital, to make desired actions the default and undesired actions difficult. A well-designed environment acts as an invisible hand guiding your choices, making success almost automatic. 20th, Why should we focus on building systems rather than just setting goals? Goals are about results, but systems are about the processes that lead to those results. By focusing on improving your system, your habits, you continuously raise your game and increase the likelihood of achieving any goal, even if the specific outcome isn't reached. Clear emphasizes that winners and losers often have the same goals. What differentiates them is their system. If you want to write a book, goal, your system is your daily writing habit. If you focus solely on the goal, you might get discouraged. By focusing on the daily writing system, you improve consistently, and the book becomes an inevitable outcome of that system, fostering continuous progress. Action plan. Next steps. Identify one small habit you want to build and apply the Make It Obvious rule by placing its cue in plain sight. Choose one bad habit and apply the Make It Invisible rule by removing its trigger from your environment. Implement a habit stacking strategy for a new desired behavior, linking it to an existing daily routine. Start a simple habit tracker for one new habit and commit to not breaking the chain for at least 7 days. Reflect on your desired identity and identify one action you can take today that aligns with becoming that person.
That's all for today's book. How do you think? Do you have any feedback or your own ideas popping up in your mind? Please feel free to let us know by leaving a comment in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new book summaries from us. Thanks and have a good day.